Hi there to everybody. It's Byron Gallegos here from Ecuador. And in this video, I would like to show you how to make a Power BI connection to Pipedrive. Not using any other connector or language, just Power BI to connect to all your data that you have in Pipedrive. Um, so In this video, you will learn how to go through problems like pagination, um, how to refresh your data, and I think that's it. Because I'm not going through how to make a dashboard, how to use Pipedrive to make filters or something like that. Because like the main thing here is how to use Power Query to go through these problems that I mentioned before. So no more to say, let's start. And let me excuse if my English is not like the best in the world, but I think that you will be able to understand almost everything. And I was wanting to make this video in English because I think that it will go to more people. So the first thing you need to know is how these connections work, and then we are going to go through the pagination stuff, and you will see how it works. Um, the first thing that you need to know is that for connect to your Pipedrive data, you need to know what it is your API token. If you don't have, you haven't worked with APIs before, then maybe you will be a little loose. But Pyrite have an API documentation with they detail. It's good. It's a good documentation with all the collection that they have and how to make the get method to get all this data from your Pyrite. How you find your API token? You should go to your Pyrite page. This is like my main page. Then you go. Sorry if my Pyrite is in Spanish, but you can see the icons and you will be able to go through. We're looking for. We're looking for the API token, right? So I go to this personal preference. I go to here in personal preference API, and there you go. Here is your API token. I think that if you don't have this option, it's maybe because you are not an admin. So you have to ask to your Pipedrive administrator to give you an admin user if you want to make some dashboard or some cool stuff with all this app Pipedrive data. Um, well, I'll just you just keep in mind that we have our token here. I'll take it later. So then if you want to connect to your Pipedrive data, something else you need to do is to know how your URL works. The best thing, the best way to do that is like exploring that API URLs in Postman, but it's not necessary because at the end of the video I will try to put all this code, all these Power Query code in a GitHub, so you will be able to have all the code, and you just need to change your company name and the API token, maybe some other things, but almost you will be able to have almost everything. So as I say, I strictly recommend to explore your API in Postman. All you need to do is to go to this URL that I will try to leave it in somewhere around the video, the description, or something like that, and maybe in the GitHub. And then you click on running Postman, and I'm not doing that because I already have it open in here. And you have this Postman interface. If you, I mean, it should appears like that at the very beginning. If you open in it, you will have, you will see all your collections. So what if, for example, I would like to explore about deals? That is one of the most common collections in Pipedrive, in actually in all the CRMs. Well, you will see something like this. You'll see base URL, deals is like the collections, user ID, filter. I mean, you have all these options, but to be honest, we are not using all these options in here. So let's see how you construct your URL for connect to get all the deals. Just give me a second. I'll try to get it from my I mean, I have already made that connection, so I'll try to show you how it works. Before deleting this, I would like you to understand at least the keys parameters that we use. For example, this limit parameter, it's key. I mean, it's very important to understand how it works, because Pipedrive just by default they give you 100 limit rows per page, and we're going to this pagination stuff later. And the maximum limit that you can put for getting rows is 500. What happens if you have more than 500 rows? And this will be like maybe the cases in almost everybody. So you need to do some pagination stuff, and we'll go through that. This start parameter is like the page, but I mean, it's not exactly like the page, but it will be useful later when we go through this pagination stuff. And of course, the API token that I'm not sure if it is somewhere here. Yes, is here the API token that we get from Pipedrive before. So let's set up our URL. Forget all these. I'll just deleting this. As I say, I will let you all these custom URLs in the GitHub. So don't worry about that. Well, if I want to connect to my API token, all I need to do is to put my company URL that should looks like this. Then put my parameters. If I got more than one parameter, I just have to put an ampersand. For example, let's try this first. I have the API token that is like the minimum thing I need to have to connect to my data. If I put send, okay, it gives me an error. Let's see what happened. As I say, the URL is okay like this. All you need is your company, the collection, and the API token. And also you need to set up some things in Postman to get the data. For example, in authorization, you need to have this API token, API key, and here add to header. That's it. And here in Pretty, when you put params and send, you will get, as you can see, all the data. Obviously, I'm not showing it because this is confidential stuff, but you will be able to watch all. I mean, this is necessary that you understand. This is not all the data. For example, there are not all the deals here. There are just 100 deals, because as I told you, you have a limit. You will have more rows if I put here. Let's see, the size should change. It should be more now that I'm putting a bigger limit. Actually, the maximum limit that is 500. Yeah, so you see that now the size of this data is bigger, but it's not even close to be the complete information that we have in my collection. I have more than 500 rows. So um, let's try this URL in Power BI. Let me go to, yeah, this is a new Power BI. So all you need to do is connect to a web content. You put here the URL and take the token, because you will need it to authenticate just in a few seconds. So as I told you, from the Postman you take the URL, and well, I am not using 500 rows as limit because my computer is having some trouble, so I'll just put maybe like 20 rows. Let's see if it works now, because here you have to put just the token, the API token. In basic, in authentication, and you use the API token, put it in here. You put the until you see the collection you are looking for. In this case, we are talking about deals. You put connect, and now we gotta wait until it is done. I think it's gonna be like fast because there are just 20 rows, but let's see. Nice. Well, every time you connect to a JSON format, you will see something like this. The good stuff is that Power BI structure, it's like like if it's SQL, like it's structured in a table format, like a data frame. But sometimes you will need to expand the things. For example, Power BI made a lot of work for us until, as you can see, there are a lot of steps. But what we really need is this stuff right here, that's called data, where it is all the information, all the rows about our deals, but with a limit. In this case, the limit is 20 rows because that's what I set up before. Anyway, we are going to see later how, I mean, in the next step, you will see how to go through this pagination stuff. You put here span, you expand the records as well, and you have to expand all this stuff. And there you go. So now, for example, I am able to watch the first 20 rows of my data, and if I put a bigger limit, you will be able to watch more rows. But the thing is that this is not possible. I mean, we need to get all the deals. So in this way, what we are going to do is going through pagination to solve this problem. So, as I don't want this video to last forever, I just try to show you my work, all the work I made, all the queries and stuff. And this is like the final model with all the collection that I have in mind. Um, in my Pipedrive, and I'll try to leave the link where I find all these relationships, how to manage them. The link is this one right here. In this link, you will see all the data model that is in Pipedrive, which collection can join with what other collection relates to. For example, user collection, and it also tell you what um, it also tell you by what variable you can make this join. So it's very useful. This is like very very useful. One of the most useful collection that let you know how you can connect to our collection is this deal collection, because it's like the center of everything, like the nucleus of everything, where you can connect deals to organizations, deals to persons, deals to user, deals to stage, deals to activity, to pipelines, etc., etc. Well, mm, let's explore the code that is in all these Pipedrive connection, and I think that one of the hardest thing is the pagination. You will see how we solve it in some collection. We have a different way to solve in some other collections. For example, in these deals, I think like this is one of the hardest things to do. Um, Let me authenticate. So as I told you, you here put your API token somewhere here. So you take your API token and then you authenticate yourself with the collection. So it should work now, because I delete the credentials intentionally to show you how it is like when you are not authenticated yet. So there you go. Um, let's see. To get all the deals, all you need to do is like, I mean, if you want to understand this query, it's like, I mean, I will let you the where I found this video. I inspired in somebody GitHub code, and I will definitely put the link to that code in my GitHub also. But I made some change. What we do here is like saying to Power BI, get all the deals, I mean, with the limit you have, and starting by 0 like is the first page. The limit is 1, and this is like the key parameter. This get summary let you get all the like a summary of all your collection, and this summary includes a variable that is the total count of rows that you have in your collection. So by doing this code, what you are getting is, tell me how many rows you have in your collection, in this deals connection. And after doing that, you are doing uh, like a loop to get by 500 that we know that is like the maximum limit. You are getting all the data until it is like the total records. If you get total records, then stop getting data from the from the Pipedrive, and then you all you need to do is like expand columns and rows and transforms, etc. That's really easy to do in Power BI, as I showed you before. Uh, what I am left you in the code, because I don't know how your data is structured. I'll try to left you in the code this, and then the in will be exactly at maybe this point. like the in should be like exactly at this point, because after this step, maybe this old step that I span all the data will not be the same for you. So that's what I'm just putting in the GitHub code this, and directly from in this step. This will not be the last step. The last step that I will let you in the GitHub will be this one right here. So, and this is basically how we go through pagination with Power BI and in Pipedrive collections. I mean, this is not working for all the collection that we have, and we'll see this in deep right now. For example, I have a problem that in the notes, in the collection of notes, I didn't have that get summary. So I wasn't able to use these deals connection. What I made is inspired in another video that I will leave you in the description and the GitHub, that use a function. You can name it whatever you want, but basically what it make is solve the pagination stuff, and by connection with a relative path. This is very important that you use a relative path, because if you don't do that, you will not be able to program refresh your data in Power BI service. So you need to put something like this, and put your API token, the entity nodes that I want to use, and then the relative path refers to putty parameters. I mean, maybe this API token is not necessary, but I am too lazy like to delete it from the code. But you definitely need to put the limit, the pinit person 0. I don't remember if this was strictly necessary, but I would put you if I was you. And this is like the most important thing. This start number to text page, because this page refers to something that we will see. We'll see now how it works. This things page refer to the pagination stuff and how you solve it with this function. And basically, what you need is like, and I will try to make another like sub video of how to deal with this stuff, because this is kind of hard to do with Pipedrive API. But for now, just understand this. Um, okay, so I will show you now how to go through this to don't have problem using the pagination and this logic. So in this section, I'll try to explain you really quick how I make this. I mean, how I make this work. I mean, I'm referring to this fnodes function. Well, the thing is that we don't have I mean, in other APIs, when you connect to the API and you have this page parameter, when you, for example, let's say in this example API that I am imagining, you have like 8 pages. What if I put the page 9 as a parameter? It will send you an error, and it will say you there are no data on the page 9 of this API. The thing is that this is some reason we don't have a page parameter. We have something like a page, but not exactly a page in Power BI. So let's see if I am able to show you what I'm referring to. Let me just close this a little bit and and show you how it shows. Okay, so I don't want to use Postman. My computer is having some struggles while I am trying to save the screen. But let's say I, for example, want to put a limit of 500, and I also want to start in, for example, this start is like the page, for example, the page 0. Let's see what happened. Nice. So they say success. Yeah, I have data here, and you have all this information, right? What if I put, for example, 4? Like start at 4. It also have data. What if I put, for example, a bigger number like this? I still have data, but if I put 5,000, maybe I'm not getting data right now. Yes, I mean, it still says success, we have data, but data is null. So it still have the is still have a start that says 5,000 until infinite. But what how can we solve this? Because the pagination is infinite. What we gotta do is using this data null, because we are telling when data is null, then stop the loop. This is where what we are doing right here in this query. As you can see, we're getting all the information that I have in these F nodes, and telling it, okay, when this step where I span all the data, when this step is null, then that's it, filter, because I don't want the null rows. So one trick to get that is connecting to this source, like in the normal way that I showed you before, and then copy, make this manually. I mean, span until you delete the null rows, and copy that part of the query to this function. I'll show you how to do that really quick. Let me just get this to a blank query. Not a blank query, actually, just a web content query. I'll put these. I am just for example, put it a limit of 10, because I don't want my computer to get in fire. Nice. So what I was talking about is, okay, you have all this expansion stuff, and here in data ID I don't have nulls, but anyway I am passing this step because I don't know how to write it exactly in Power Query. But now I have this, this is what I was looking for. But not only this, because I also need all these conversions. So what we're gonna do is getting all these steps, or maybe not all of them, but at least this is the step you need to put in the source. It's very important to put this in the source of the fnode function, and in that way you will be able to put in the source a condition that don't let the table that use the function to have empty or null rows in this column. So this is how you achieve, and you stop the query until it is until you have data in this data ID, because when it is null, then stop the query. This is what we are doing with this step. That, I think that's it. All you need to do is that. This is like the most important part of the query. You can do this all this step like span, but finally, when you are able to watch this data ID, then this is when you need the data ID. This is when you are able to put this step that you took from the, I mean, in the query that I am giving you, you can use directly this. But the thing is that maybe on this F note table you will have some other columns. I don't know. Maybe it's a standard, and that's, I am not completely sure if, I'm pretty sure that it's a standard with all the Pipedrive users. But if not, then just expand by yourself and put a condition like this that filter all the nulls, exclude all the nulls or empty rows in this column, named it as data ID. Well, now that you understand how these F nodes works, and you can go directly to your, I mean, I could try this like 1 page, 5 page, but it's definitely working. You can be sure of that. So I go directly to go how you finally get your query, your final query, to get all the nodes and passing through pagination without a get summary parameter. Well, you need to use this list generate function of our query, and then use this logic that basically what it do is like get all the page by 500 by 500 um, until there's no more data in there. This is possible because of all the logic that we set up in the fnode function that is calling right here. As you can see, I call the fnode function, and that's how it is working. All you in the code that I'm putting in Pipedrive, you just will need until here and here. So I mean, this conversion to table will be the last step that will be included in the in, because all these expand stuff you will be able to do by yourself. Okay. And there you go. That's like the hardest things. Then you have more things, like for example the stage. But here I don't have more than 500 roads. So as you can see, this is like a normal connection, like the one I showed you before at the beginning of the video. Is just get into your Pipedrive URL and expand until you get what you need. And the same for organization, I think. Let me see. Now, in organization, we make the same logic that we use for get all the deals. We have the get summary parameter in organization, so it works perfectly. If Pipedrive people decide to delete this get summary parameter someday, then you will always have this option to connect to all the deals and all the organization by the same way we made before with F nodes and nodes. You can create a F organization, for example, a functions to connect organization dynamically, and there you go. You will have all your organization even when you have the get summary parameter. And let's explore one by one. Pipeline is a normal connection directly to your URL, because I don't have more than 500 rows in there. As well, I don't think, I mean, in person I made the same logic with the summary stuff, because you can have more than 500 people, I mean persons, adding to your Pipedrive. Users, I think that I don't have more than 500 users in my company, so that's why I made a normal connection. These are the I don't know how to name them in English, but the activities. There you go. This is the activities, and this is a normal connection. I don't actually use this connection, but I have it in there because in case it is useful for you. But if you need to 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 get more than 500 activities, there now you know how to make it. You can try the get summary method, or if you don't have this get summary parameter in the activities collection, you can always make this method that works as well. This is I'm not explaining this because this is something that I create. This is not from Pipedrive origin. I just create this table for my dashboard. This is a marketplace, and here I'll explain a very useful information that Pipedrive, like if you have Pipedrive in your company, they sometimes let you get like personalization in your data. For example, the company where I work, we have like we're an e-commerce platform, and we have like maybe more than 10 marketplaces around the world. So um, for me, it was important to know and to be able to filter from how, I mean, recognize to which marketplace I was referring. For example, here you have this not data name that say marketplace, and from somewhere around here I have like this is a market. So these are the marketplace name. And how I get this, I don't have. If I mean I already closed Postman, but if you see in the API documentation, you don't have a collection named marketplace. So I will go through how to connect to all these personal tables with Power Query. It's a tricky stuff, but you will see how it works. And maybe this will like the last part of the video. Well, here's the magic in this to get all these personal like um, collections that you have in Pipedrive. Well, you need to connect to a table, I mean to a collection that is named deal fields. This collection exists in all Pipedrive APIs. And then, I mean, this is a normal connect. I will show you the query, the complete query right here. Just connect these deals fields with your API token and make it, I mean, expand. You will see expand. I'm just expanding my data until I get something like this. This will be maybe important because you need to make a join in at least in this table. You need like the variable that you're joining be the same of the other one. So you will span until you have something like this maybe. And for example, we were talking about marketplaces, right? So I need to find where I have in this data name column where I have marketplace. For example, there you go. I have marketplace right here, right? Marketplace. This is like the personal field that Pipedrive give to my company that is called marketplace. And every personal field that Pipedrive create for your company will show with a data key. For example, marketplace is like a collection that just exists for my company, and it have its own key. This is like a token, as well as category that is another field that just my company maybe have, and as well as seller type, SKU, lead source, etc., integration. So let's make the example with marketplace, and then you will figure out how it works for other collections. I will use this data key of marketplace to connect to the deals, and you will see how it shows in deals. For example, as I just need marketplace, I will make another step. Well, all I am doing here is filtering by marketplace. I just keep in marketplace, so you can see, because I just need a marketplace. I don't need all the deal fields, and I have my marketplace data key here. And then well, this is just, I am just renaming the column names. I just rename this column that were named data option ID to marketplace ID, because this is will be like more useful for me to recognize. And let's explore the deals table where we connect before, because you will see like almost at the end of the collection you will have some weird, for example, this marketplace ID, you will have some weird columns like this, for example, custom data, and you have like a really large token. This is the secret of this, because let me see if I can figure out. Yeah, here in this step, I I changed the name already of all these columns. Like it's made easier the work for me to know what I made before. But let's look at this step before I change the name. As you can see, you have here custom data and all this token. If you check to this token, it is exactly the same token that I have on marketplace. It's exactly the same. So this is how I recognize on the deal collection where it is the column field of marketplace. Because of that token, you have to check on your column names and recognize that, for example, in this case, this is the token of the marketplace. Of if I made is change the name to marketplace ID, and then make a join between this marketplace ID, because this is just a number, between this marketplace ID, that in this step I think I made it like a number, or maybe letter, I'm not pretty sure. Okay, so all I made here is join this marketplace ID, for example 59, because 59 is a marketplace, but I don't know which marketplace it is. So by doing the join with my table marketplace that I create with the deal fields collection, I will be able to know that for example the 59 marketplace, for example this 59 marketplace refers to this marketplace name. I'm not showing it because of confidentiality, but it is basically how it works. And now I am able to know that in my model I have a relationship with all the marketplace that I have, and I can use it by a filter. I can use it to show information about marketplace, and you can do the same with every personal deal field that Pipedrive create for your company. I think that's it. Well, one more thing that I didn't mention is like, because of you are doing these queries of with personalization, maybe in your case will happen the same that happened to me, that you will have, for example, this when you use the get summary method for for solve the pagination stuff, you'll see that you will have something like this, like custom data, custom active, custom activities, custom uptime, everything in the deals column says custom, as well as in organizations that I use the same method. And but don't worry about that, because for example, if I need to match the deals with a stage, you'll see that let me see. The stage is a normal connection, so it's more easy to map where the stage it is. It say, for example, a stage ID. It's a stage ID. You don't have problem with that. But in the case of the deals collection, you have too much rows. I mean, too much columns. So you need to find what it is, the stage ID. But you will be able to find it even with the I think it is over here. You see? So even when the stage is a kind of weird, I mean the columns names here in deals are a kind of weird, you will be able to find every ID you need to map. Uh, and I think that's it, cause almost all the connections are works like the same. For example, pipeline ID, and this is the last example I'm making. You will find it here as custom data pipeline ID connecting with pipeline ID in the pipeline connection. And that's it. It works the same with organization name, with user, with all the collection that we have right here. Um, and I think that's it. I think I'm not messing up anything. Just take that in count and let's go through the next step. I think that's it for today's video. This is my maybe the first video I ever made, so sorry if I make some mistakes or it lasts too much, but I'm pretty sure that this video will be useful for your API connection. I mean your Pipedrive API connection to Power BI. And as I say, I'm not a professional of Power Query or or something like that, but you can ask me for a question, and as long as I know the answer, I'll try to help you. Have a good day, and let me know in the comments, and if you like the video, if you have some question, if you would like me to make some other video, like for example doing a dashboard with all this data. And that's it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.